Okay, welcome back. I think it's time at this moment for us to start. We've played quite a few friendlies. We're kind of happy with the overall flow, and we're looking for players and stuff. There are a couple of things though that, because let's say that we still should maybe try a little bit before we go all in on this. So one thing we can. One thing is just to start going through the process of trying to. At most, all these sliders are basically just in sliders. These team instructions are just basically in the middle options, pretty much, except for the closing down, which I say is mostly just because our team just isn't capable of lasting through the match. If it isn't that, and we don't really have subs to bring on for players, pretty much as they get tired. So that's that's on that one. I feel like in the end we do want to test that regardless still though, because this problem is going to exist for some time. So at some point we might, not on this video, but we might just start it with balanced. And even though we know that our players will be tired and we know we're going to have a problem at the end of the match, we'll just play some friendlies and we'll just factor that in. So we'll just say, as far as we're concerned, the match ends after 60 minutes type of thing. I don't know. Let's just say, who knows? Because we're not caring about the result. We're just caring about what difference it makes. So we'll do that at some point. But for now, there's other things we want to try as well. Probably the most interesting one, unfortunately, isn't anything with the tactical instructions. I think the most interesting one is probably what happens if we try and play fullbacks. I think we focused a lot on tinkering all of these players and moving this guy a bit. All of these guys, mostly though, and like I said, just moving him a bit, but leaving him with this role. But what we haven't done really at all is try to do anything with the defensive configuration. I mean, there's not much you can do if you're only playing three at the back, because you have to play three centre halves, so you can change the roles, which we've been doing a bit to configure that. But I think at this juncture, we're just gonna try and flip this around to play four at the back. I think in the first instance, I'm just gonna set central defender, fullback, and I think we want to put these two guys in the game. So we won't play Newman. He's old or whatever, and anyway. So and Harburg for there. So I think we'll do that. Now we will play the whole match out. I don't know if we need a DMC on the bench, quite frankly. If we want that guy on the bench, I don't know. We do have two MCs, so let's just put him on instead of. I don't think we were going to bring him on, but let's just put him there in case for whatever reason we think we want to. So one thing I can already sort of see that's an issue is just the too big a hole here. There's just a hole, and it isn't just about defending. It's just about that the other team just has way too much space is a problem. So it requires to change quite a bit, I imagine. I'm just going to leave it and we'll just see what happens with the hole, but it's going to be a problem. I already know it. Not from a defending standpoint, from a build-up standpoint. This change here is I think it's going to disrupt our attacking flow quite a bit. And is it going to disrupt the build-up phase in the transition, basically? And it also going to mean that the other team can outlet much easier with much lower threat of being able to outlet the passes. I think it's going to be bad, but let's find out. And obviously it's going to depend on the team a lot here as well, so we'll only find out so much from one match. But I think the question I've got though is really how much does it disrupt the attacking flow? I think it's going to be a problem, but if it's not a huge problem, maybe we can tweak some things somehow to fix it. If it's a massive problem, it's going to require a complete reconfiguration of all of those attacking players, which I really enjoy how all of the attacking play works, so I don't want to completely reconfigure all that. To some degree, I'd rather have a bit, I guess, got the attitude at the moment. I'd rather just have a bit of a shonky defense, I guess, and just try and outscore the opposition to some degree. Obviously, we'll try and make it as stable as we can, but I think for now, it's just an interesting exercise from a tactics perspective. I don't know, irrespective of whether it works or not, I'm not sure whether we will end up playing fullbacks or whatever, but I'm just curious, I'm just curious, really, to be honest. So, and regardless of whether it works or it doesn't, it isn't. You could definitely view it through that lens, but it either works or it doesn't. But it'll work to some degree, or it won't work to some degree, and different components of it will work. It might disrupt the attacking flow a lot, but it might be way more defensively solid, or it may not be more defensively solid. So it may. Well, it hasn't disrupted our attacking flow yet. Now, in particular, it's just they are playing AML, AMR, so it's what we should have checked for. It's the main thing we want to test it against. This them coming through here, it's it's way easier, isn't it? So coming through the middle. Before it was really problematic to come through the middle. Yeah. Anyway, we'll keep. But that's to be expected. Before we had 4 players in the middle, now we got 2. So of course that's the case. Oh gosh. Right. Yeah. So I feel like that pass sprang out of play. The fact that we had a fullback there definitely contributed to that. Without that, he's just completely unmarked, and it's the player just passes straight to him. I feel. Ooh, another. Yeah, you can sort of see, it's very wholly through the middle, pretty much. I just feel, it's just too the transitions for them are too easy. As they're coming through now, it just feels like that's just way too easy. Not only are all of those passes linked up, but we didn't even have anybody basically close to any of them. I mean, yeah, the fullback in the end, but I mean, the whole play through the middle, it was just way too easy. So it's not as bad, to be honest, for our attacking play as I thought it might be, so that's okay. There are times, for example, that the central midfielders do lay it back to rework it through, and they don't have that option. Like now, for example, sorry, not now. You can just see that there was, you can just see that the defensive midfielder's not there, I suppose. But Decent chance. We have been like, I still feel like the attacking is okay, and even when they worked it sort of through the middle, yeah. See if he's faster. Got better defenders a bit now, but he's. A better team is gonna. It's just too. Yeah. See, this is just way too easy. I don't know if I'm not quite sure what can be allowed. I'm gonna look at halftime because we're too close now. There's something that can be done. We scored, and it was the creative forward as well. He did put that one away, but it's yeah. I think I've misjudged the over importance of the long shots when recruiting that player, and underestimated how important the finishing and composure is going to be running through. Unfortunately. Right, so I'm not. These left back and right back, what can they do? He's actually decent at passing. This guy not, so if this guy's going to be the one that does anything with. Let's just try this. I'm going to put him inverted wing back. So he comes across here. In theory, he won't get in this guy's the box-to-box midfielder's way because he will invert when we're attacking, and he'll come up when we're attacking. He'll be up, and then when we lose possession, he'll come back, and he'll come back. So this might help. Obviously, though, it's like it's going to leave the it a bit exposed there for their right winger, sorry, but I'm just trying to emulate with a simple change of trying to emulate the existence of that defensive midfielder we had there a little bit as best we can before, just for the attacking. And also it means that he will be in that inverted place when we lose possession for the beginning of the opponent's transition. So just curious if that helps make things feel any better, basically. That's the creative forward. It feels like so that was on our left back that was inverting, so the guy got the jump on him a bit. He's coming around. Okay, so he's like there. He's coming up. So he is supporting. So okay. I feel like it's better this half, basically. I feel like inverting that fullback did a bit, but that's the thing. It feels much more exposed to those sort of through balls and stuff, and we're really solid against all that stuff. I don't think we'll roll with it, but it's just interesting. Just going to pause and sub central defender. So if there's any other change we're curious to do for this game. Let's sub him. And the box-to-box midfielder, and we can do one more change. I guess we'll do still a ways left. We'll do the striker. We'll give this. It was on target man again. We left it, so that's interesting. We'll change it to poacher. So that might have been why it was less of a problem, because we had the target man set, we were more willing to hoof it forwards to him, which meant that it was less of an issue that the defensive midfielder wasn't sitting behind to sort of back pass as a layback option. That was very route one though, again for us. I think to be conceded, so the type of chance we just weren't really giving up that chance very often at all, and then there's been multiple like that in this game. Having said that, they've hardly wrapped around us at all, so that's obvious though, right? Like, you've got 2 defenders in the middle instead of 4, like but then you've got 2 wide, so you're giving you're basically saying, please go down the flanks and we'll deal with it when it comes in. So, but you can't come through the middle basically, and I feel like plus we'd letting them build up play too easily. So yeah, I don't think we will bother much more with this, although interestingly we have dominated the match, so maybe we should play another one. Just to see. It could just be a bad opponent, obviously, as well. So we're not. I think that might be our first ever goal scored off a corner. But it wasn't a header; it was on the ground. But yeah, I think it was the first one. So we're at the end of this match, and that was very, very comfortable. I had a few through the middle that I wasn't really sort of liking that we were giving that up. I'm thinking more from the perspective, by the way, like, it wasn't a problem that this team had those chances necessarily, but it will be a problem against other human opponents. Like, letting that sort of attacking play come through is going to be really problematic. So it's a bit weird that, like, this flat back four might be better versus these training league teams, but against the further down the track is sort of what I'm trying to think in terms of here. We've played this team at some point before. Right, in the training league, the first match, we won 4-0. So, was it the first or the last? First training league match, so... We played these rounders before. Yeah, and we beat them 3-1. So we comfortably beat them last time as well. We've played them. So at least we got a benchmark here. Alrighty. How's our flat back four? To be honest, I felt it was flowing a lot better when we inverted the fullback. So we're going to do that again. I'm going to do it straight away so we can see it for the full match. Oh, what a chance. And that's our box-to-box midfielder as well. Tell because he got the blue mohawk. So he's not coming up to join the attack at all. Like he's not getting that far up, basically. So he's not really contributing much for that. Like that high up the pitch anyway. He might help with the I need to pay attention more, but he's not coming up all the way up here, obviously, from fullback. He's more just coming in to sit. I think what he's doing more is affecting the other team's transition. It's a bit interesting that decision to lay it back, but it was a goal, so I guess he was right. Well, it's been interesting anyway because we have still been creating chances, so I think it's less about totally scuppering. Like, it doesn't seem to. We do have the target man set, so I think it is. The passes are coming route one more often to him because we're encouraging that. But yeah, it just means that if we'd have to try without the target man and see how it impacts things or whatever. But it is clear that with the target man, which we have now, that it still functions, still working, to creating, nice looking attacking flow in play. So, I think it's just a case of what's more defensively stable. It's a weird one because we're doing statistically better in these matches, but it feels worse, and obviously it's just like every opponent is different. I mean, in particular, we already beat this team by a lot last time we played them, so I don't know if there's anything else we could try here. I like, for example, changing one of these. I mean, these are all. I might just change this guy to central midfielder and just see how bad that impacts things for our attacking play. I mean, he's not going to come up. There he is. So he's not going to be up in the in position to take a lot of long shots. Yeah, I feel like this is the issue, right? Like those attacks, we are dealing with them, but if we were playing against a human that had like strikers with like 80 speed and stuff, that we wouldn't be. They'd just be coming. They'd be carving us straight through, basically. Our box-to-box midfielder with another goal. It is really awesome that the goals kind of just come from everywhere, all different. I mean, all of these players score goals in this tactic. So the ML, the MLC, the MC, the MR, the AMRC, and the striker, they all basically, yeah, all of the players that are basically got stepping over halfway in the tactic, pretty much, they all score. And it's sort of awesome, to be honest, that the box-to-box is even scoring as well. That you can chip in with 2 goals like this. Like, there's just a whole nother source of goals and a player that also helps us defensively. He's definitely going to be a more defensively stable tactic with that player set to central midfielder instead of attacking. Another shot by the box-to-box midfielder. Jeez. Right. And it doesn't necessarily, like, I'm trying to pay attention how much it's disrupting our attacking flow, but we'd have to play quite a lot of matches to know that for sure, but it doesn't feel horrible. Phew. There's another great chance. It doesn't feel horrible. Like, we're still creating chances. I feel like it just, you want a different type of player to what obviously the long shot doesn't. He's sitting back around here, so the long shots doesn't matter at all. Goes from being brilliant, and also he's not going to. It's just a totally different archetype of player we will need. Before we were looking for a player that can just pass and shoot long shots, and now we'd be looking for a player that is sitting back here, so a player that can do other things as well, tackle, whatever. Like, it's just going to be a very well-rounded position. But to be honest, since we changed it, everything feels way more. We gave that up, but it feels more stable. They're not able to just literally they're not coming through the middle completely. It doesn't feel as difficult. Like when they're passing, that we at least have players near them and stuff now. totally was just watching the action and totally forgot about the subs. Oh well. What can you do? Yeah, which makes me think, to be honest, that maybe we haven't got the perfect configuration. It's quite interesting, to be honest. We played fullbacks, and what we learned from it is maybe we should something about completely unrelated to that. I'm not going to persevere. I didn't really like how it felt, so I'm not gonna that side of things. So let's just set that back. So that was ball playing cover. This one is central stopper. This one was destroyer. Let's just save that up. And so the RC is going to go to Newman, and the DMC is going to go to, I think we had him on the bench, yeah, Harburg. And then I guess we put Thiago Lopez there. Yeah. It's important that he spaces from this guy though, so you can't, I don't think you want that to be central midfielder and this player here. He doesn't venture far, so maybe what we want is this guy to venture a little bit rather than locking him in here. So when this guy comes up, this guy is willing to come up a bit more. So maybe we should be thinking this. So maybe we want that deep line playmaker, potentially Anchorman. Maybe we want Anchorman. We don't want halfback. Maybe we want defensive midfielder. The thing is that there's only so much protection. This guy, we don't really want this guy to protect our centre halves. We've got 3 of them. What we really want is for him to we want him to be involved in the attacking play more. Let's try the deep line playmaker, to be honest, because he's got good passing from him. Yeah, I mean, not great vision, so it's not all brilliant, but you know, what can you do? Doesn't have it all, but I think that's about right. Deep line. I think the other thing you would want is for him to have at least decent first control. Okay, it's not perfect player for the role, but to be honest, he's probably better suited to this role than he is for destroyer anyway, which was what he had. So let's. But for me, it's mostly that he's going to be a little bit higher up. He might be able to help the attack, and then I think hopefully will. Because what I want him to be a bit higher up when we're attacking, so that when we lose the ball, he's a bit higher up to start with, to just fill that space a little bit more. Don't know if this is going to pull it off, to be honest. Because you probably have... You know what? We did get an extra MC, so we can try something now with the central midfielders. So let's try it. Not sure what though. So we'll do it in the next video. I think. Let's do it in the next video.